Ooh, yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. That is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I am your host, Matt. I busted out the Premier League champion shirt today after a win like that one, baby. Words cannot express the pure amount of joy I have in my soul right now as a fan, and I say that without even having watched the game. And you're probably wondering, how could you be so happy if you didn't even watch the game? Well, unfortunately, I don't have Paramount Plus in the US where those games are aired. I did see the highlights, though, and my God, that was incredible. I I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. You know what? Let me give the opposition some credit here. The score says 1-0 that we beat Real Madrid at home in Anfield. This score could have easily been like 5-0 with some of the chances that we had that Courtois stopped. Okay? I got to give all the credit to Courtois for that performance he had, because outside, the one goal he couldn't stop was the one that McAllister put in, and shout out McAllister, man. He's back to form, I think. I'm actually quite impressed. I mean, everything I saw in the highlights that I've watched, he looks like he was back in form. Same thing with Connor Bradley. Connor Bradley put on a phenomenal performance, which I'll get to in a couple of minutes here. But I'm just so filled with joy. Well, all of my other sports teams are like kind of fluctuating between like doing great, then doing really shit, then doing great again. Same thing with Liverpool. I can proudly say that at least a lot of my teams are now kind of on the upswing, and this is just another feather in the cap, so to speak, of victories that I've had over the course of the last week or so. I'm just happy, man. I mean, the crowd was raucous, especially when Trent came on the field. That's going to be a moment that's going to be seared in our brains for the rest of history. He didn't even start. I'm actually shocked he didn't even start. I thought I read a report that he was going to be starting on the field, and it seems like that wasn't the case. He did sub in, but really didn't make much of an impact, as you can see. Everybody was, I guess, I don't know if it was like people who were defending Trent's leaving Liverpool to go to Madrid, and like, oh, he's gonna win the Ballon d'Or, or however you say it. It's French, so I don't know. But everyone's like, oh, he's gonna win that award now because he left Liverpool. How's he gonna win it when he's on the bench? How's he gonna win it when he's on the bench? Let me just read you guys a couple of the stats from the game, because I'm actually shocked at what I'm looking at here. It was pretty evenly spread out for these stats. Like, each team did better in some things than in others. 15 shots on goal for Liverpool to Real Madrid 7. 10 of those shots being on target for Liverpool, which is great. We did not have possession for a majority of the game. That goes to Real Madrid. We didn't even have more passes than Madrid. They even had better accuracy than us. However, we basically won with a bunch of really good corners, a lot of good big fouls that we picked up and free kicks that created those chances. Florian Wirtz was incredible. I always say with the W, I don't know why, but he was incredible, apparently. He created a lot of great chances in his own right. Editike had some awesome chances, too. Van Dijk had this header, man, that was just this close. This close. If Courtois didn't put his hands up, that was going in. And I got to commend him once again for that performance. I mean, like I said, he's lucky. Real Madrid is lucky that they have a keeper like Courtois to make big saves like he was making today. All in all, a great victory. Everybody performed to the standing that we expect them to. And I'm happy, man. I'm really happy. It's funny now because in the standings, Madrid is still 5th, which I believe they were that way anyway. But we've now moved up to 6. I think we were like 10 or something. So that is a big win for us in the Champions League, which is going to be great for a multitude of different reasons, which I'll get to, because we may not face Real Madrid for quite some time now. We'll get into that rule that I didn't even know about until in a couple of minutes here. But I do have something else I want to touch on, and that's a lot of the post-match comments that were involved. Let's start with Jude Bellingham, who is on Real Madrid. And this was him talking about Anfield booing Trent when he was coming on the pitch. He said the fans' booing isn't a reflection of what they think about him, more trying to throw him off. I'm sure they're appreciative of what he's done for the club. He loves the club a lot. I know that from speaking to him. So here we are with more support for Trent propaganda. No, I'm kidding. I will say, I know we were shitting on Trent a lot leading up to this game. And during the game, I saw a lot of tweets as it was happening when he was getting subbed on. And everybody was just letting him have it. The people in Anfield were giving it to him. The people online were being horrendously evil. I saw some very evil stuff. You guys got to behave, man. You guys got to behave a little bit better. I know he's a rat, but these are people. Rats. Some rats are people too. That's all I could say. But yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with Bellingham here, man. I don't disagree with him at all. Again, Trent is a great player, regardless of what we think of him in today's game. He was a great player that helped us win a lot of great games, for one. He helped us win championships, which is even more important. Without Trent, Liverpool might not have seen the heights it got when Jurgen Klopp took over. So, I mean, doubters to believers, I always say, is a very real thing that I believe in. And I think the fact that Trent spent so long with the club and he was able to be a part of that system under Klopp, that's no small thing to me, in my opinion. So I do respect Trent for what he's done, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say that fuck all that he lost. He still lost though. But there's just so much I can go into. Here's some stuff on from Arne Slot. A couple of things he said on Connor Bradley. He said he was outstanding to be up against Vinicius. I think that's how it says. I mean, that's how I read it. So many times, 1v1 is not for everyone. He did outstanding today, and I will say, I know we've been giving Connor Bradley a lot of shit this season, especially last season too. But I don't know what it is. Last couple of weeks, especially in the Champions League, he's been showing out. He showed out pretty well against Frankfurt. He showed out just as much in this game here with Real Madrid. Something about him in the Champions League is just a big, big thing. And I hope he continues that momentum for personal growth throughout our Premier League campaign, because it's not over. It ain't over until the fat lady sings, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing that Slot said, this time on Wirtz, he's working incredibly hard to adapt as soon as he can, and he's been so unlucky in his career at Liverpool, because even today, he has created so many chances for the team. And I could not agree with that more. A lot of those highlights I saw today involved Wirtz, and I think without Wirtz creating those chances, we don't create the pressure we do. The press was astoundingly doing well today. Even Salah looked like he was back up to form. He had a couple opportunities that were incredible in the highlights that I saw. And I sat back looking at some of these him dribbling the ball and scooting past all these guys, and I'm like, holy shit, Mo is back. He's back, baby. But yeah, big stuff. I'm glad that Slot is putting over these guys as well as he is. I hope he continues to understand the placement of where these players are, because I will keep harping on this. I know Chiesa didn't. I don't know if Chiesa really played today. Unfortunately, I can't name. I couldn't see anything on that in time, but I mean, Editike, big performance. Wirtz, big performance. just keep playing these guys, man. I feel like if some of these guys are going to get better with being played in the positions that they're in, and I think Verts is one of them. Bradley, I know he's been on the team a while, so like we know he's where he is as a defender, but I don't know. It gives me some hope for Kirkez. Like just the inkling of hope that Kirkez can get his head out of his ass and perform to the expectation and salary that we gave him. Last but certainly not least, on the post-match comments, of course, another thing I got to shit on Trent for. Van Dijk on if he saw Trent before the game or if he plans to. I guess in this case after. He says no. Verge is salty. I love it. Verge, I think, is a hater deep down. And this man's been showing some not even hater energy. This man's he's been a salty little bitch the last week, considering all the hate talk from Wayne Rooney. I saw some stuff that he responded to it. Verge is just in a mood right now. I think he's finally getting to the point where he's on like hater energy, and he's so fed up that he just wants to shut everybody up, and I hope he continues that. In this case, he's a man of few words as opposed to other reports I've had on this channel, but maybe less talking, more playing. That might work after all. So, yes, we did win here in against Real Madrid in Anfield, but here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not familiar with the Champions League all that much because I have little access to it already. It seems as though, due to a recent rule change, the same fixture at Anfield, mind you, that's the key thing I'm going to get to in a second, cannot occur 3 seasons in a row with the same home team. So, like I said, at Anfield, they cannot have this matchup again for the 3rd straight season in the group stage anyway. Or what is this group stage? I don't know exactly what they call it, but so this is the restriction that is being put into place for repeated fixtures. If 2 teams have faced each other in consecutive league phases, I guess that's what it is, of the Champions League, and the same team hosted both times, then they cannot be drawn together again with the same home team for a 3rd consecutive season, which means that if both teams meet each other next year, they have to, where's that note I had? This means that they can either meet at Real Madrid Stadium or in a knockout round. Now, I don't know how the drawing goes for the Champions League. Odds are, if we had it our way, we'd have this matchup again at Real Madrid Stadium and win there. But if we have to miss out and wait for the knockout stage, if we make it next year and if they make it next year, I'm okay with that too. Although I think the fact that this game took place in Anfield is very important, mind you, for the fixture and how we performed overall. The fans were rocking. They were behind us clearly. And I think that energy carried off onto the pitch. But I just think it's very interesting that this rule is in place. And it's not something I have heard of before. Normally, I'm used to seeing teams at their home and no restrictions in place, really. And if there is any sort of championship game, it takes place on a neutral ground. But that's as much as I've seen with football or soccer. It's either at home, at either team's home, or in a neutral ground. So the fact that this is such an important thing that they can't play a 3rd year in a row at Anfield, I guess they think it's like an unfair advantage to some extent. They also say here that this is to change. The rule change is to ensure greater rotation of matchups across European clubs, which I also understand too. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like, could we also face Premier League clubs then? Because, I mean, I don't think we've faced any Premier League clubs since we started the Champions League campaign. So, is that even possible? That's a question I gotta research a little bit. So, that's something I would like to discuss at a later time. The last thing I'd like to touch on today, and this is some big news. So yesterday, I talked about the Ibrahimo Konate rumor that he was given another contract offer. Whether or not it was true, I still don't know. Whether or not it was accepted, if it was true, also don't know. I haven't found any concrete evidence on it. That said, a source that I usually refer to when it comes to football news, Fabrizio Romano, he reported that Liverpool are planning new contract talks with Dominic Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch, who, if it hasn't been painfully obvious, I didn't mention this before, Szoboszlai had an incredible game in his own right, in my opinion. Easily, like I said before, the heart and soul of this team, who are two of the club's most important midfielders. Easy. McAllister is probably there too, but he's just now coming up to form, whereas Gravenberch and Szoboszlai have been consistent, in my opinion. So it seems, from what I understand, they are moving their contracts, even though they don't expire until 2028. They're moving their contracts up to a higher priority of negotiation, and it seems like they quietly offered them contracts, which is a good thing. And we'll see if they choose to extend it. By the end of the season, both players will have 2 years left of the contract deals. So obviously, I think they're trying to expand them before that time happens. Romano also had a quote in his own right here that I'll read. Liverpool want to sign longer contracts. Talks will start soon. It's not something advanced or done at this stage. It's an internal plan. Okay, so there is some early planning, and that there is some urgency to get these guys signed. Whereas Konate, I don't really know. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope he resigns. I mean, I don't really know how well he performed today because I haven't really seen too much online about it. I didn't see much of what he did in the highlights. So this is a audition for him to join Real Madrid. Still don't know how well that holds up. We'll have to see for a later time. With that being said, thank you guys so much for checking out today's episode of Liverpool Latest. We'll ride this win as long as we can. We'll ride that high until Man City. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, and as always, you'll never walk alone.